Greetings, Algo artisans. Remember back when the ETF approval was going to send Bitcoin to the moon? When moon? When Lambo? Today's video is Bitcoin ETF approved. What will happen now? Kicking off alt season? We're going to talk about these things right now. Actually, first, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's going to help us get more content out to you. Okay, now to it. This video, we're going to talk about what might happen as a result of some movement of funds, some movement of crypto money after this ETF approval. We're also going to talk about the Cosmos chain, right? Now, I think it might be based on what's happening to Bitcoin over the next several weeks, maybe even months. We might see a little bit of an alt season. I don't mean that it's going to be the main alt season. I just think we're going to see some altcoins do well based on what I think is going to happen with the Bitcoin price. And today we're going to put a little bit of attention on the Cosmos chain. We're going to talk about Cronos, RUNE, dYdX, and Cosmos itself, and we're going to chart them. And we're going to talk just why I think perhaps they're ones to watch. Let's go ahead and take a look at an article here from the block. And basically, they're talking about how the new spot Bitcoin ETFs might impact crypto market dynamics. And what they explain over here is that the launch of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US is likely to redistribute the supply of Bitcoin from whales to new entrants, according to blockchain analytics from firm Nansen. Increased liquidity from investors may lead to lower volatility over time, yet significant fluctuations in risk-off events are still expected. Principal research analyst Aurelie Barthere. I hope I said that properly. It's all right. Looks like a tough name. I guess maybe French? I don't know. At any rate, what this article is basically saying is that a lot of institutional money may have been gathering Bitcoin for some time in anticipation of this ETF. And it might be that there is going to be a bit of a distribution according to their analysis. Now, if what they said is true, then what might happen to Bitcoin is going to be what I'm going to demonstrate on the chart right now. Now, this is a weekly Bitcoin chart. So each one of these candles is a week's worth of price action. And we're looking at everything going back to basically the beginning of 2023. And 2023 was a monster year. Price went from yearly lows, which was actually the prior year's lows, down to 15,000. And it rallied all the way up to almost 50,000, like knocking on the door of 50,000 at the announcement of the ETF. And then price is coming down. Part of the decrease in price may have to do with GBTC sell-off. So it's an arbitrage game. Grayscale Bitcoin was at a premium. And now people realize because of the ETF filing that they can sell Grayscale Bitcoin positions at a premium. They can make some profit and use it to buy actual Bitcoin or to buy into some of these ETFs potentially in the near future. So Grayscale Bitcoin is selling off, and that is also going to be relative to Bitcoin coming down due to arbitrage games. So that being the case, we're going to see perhaps a little bit more of that on Grayscale profit taking. In the meantime, on the chart right now, there's just a couple of blue lines that you see, and these are liquidity nodes from this morning. Now, those may have been updated, but I think just over a few hours, they're probably still the same. And these are areas where price might go in the near term. And since this morning, price has actually come down significantly. Price was closer to 42,000 this morning, and it came down almost all the way down to 40,500. And it seems as if there is a bit of a sell-off going on. Now, according to the block, this might also be institutional types selling to retail. And retail is thirsty and buying up. That being the case, we might see Bitcoin jump down a little bit into this low 30 range. And then after that, it's going to be hard to say what's going to happen. I can tell you that the world is excited about Bitcoin, and there is a lot of liquidity sitting in this range right here. Let me grab my rectangle here. Throughout this area, there's a lot of liquidity. Bitcoin may be attracted to that. As a matter of fact, you can see one of the lines I drew got covered up by this box, and that's the top of that zone. Wouldn't surprise me much to see Bitcoin go ahead and drop into that area. Now, once it drops into that area, we might see price start to develop a range. And that range could look like a few different things. It could look like a range inside of this area and just bounce around for a while, maybe even a month or two. It could also come back out of this area. So if it jumps down here, grabs a little liquidity, it may come back out and develop a range up here. And this range could be in this high 40 zone. Either way, if Bitcoin stays above, say, 33,000 or even above 31 or 32,000 and develops a range anywhere in this area, I think we might actually see altcoins do really well, because what will happen is this is Bitcoin price discovery. Bitcoin is becoming comfortable. Buyers and sellers start to agree at what Bitcoin is worth. And once the market is comfortable with their Bitcoin position, they may start to put their money into altcoins. So there was an article on Cosmos today, and the article is by cryptonewsflash.com, and their opinion is is they want to watch the Cosmos chain. Now, the Cosmos chain, ATOM is the main coin on the Cosmos chain, and that ecosystem does have some pretty interesting coins that have done really well. And we're going to chart Atom first, and then we're going to talk about these other coins, which are Cronos, THORChain, and dYdX. In particular, I like dYdX, and we'll get to why. I like all these coins, really, but dYdX to me, kind of special, and we'll discuss that in a minute. But first, we're going to take a look at Atom, and let's see. We're just going to see what the price action's been doing. It has had a good run since October, but there are other coins that have done better. That could mean that Atom's going to be pretty calm over the next few months. Let me take a look at some crazy stuff here. Yeah, I'd say for now, Atom is probably going to find a bottom somewhere, and it might find that bottom, I'm thinking around 780, and it might also find that bottom around, say, 620. So I do think Atom is going to come down a bit, unless something really amazing happens with it. I think it may calm down to this area and either start to find a floor there and eventually make its way up when the rest of the coins do well, which I think is going to happen later this year, or it may make its way down into this lower level and range like this, or do any combination of these. It could range a little higher, but I do think Atom's going to come down a bit, and that's going to happen in the next several weeks and months and get calm and then come up later. However, if any major developments happen with these other coins, then perhaps, and I mean these other coins in that ecosystem, perhaps we might see some more exciting things. For example, Cronos. Cronos is powered by its native token CRO, and it stands out as a key player within the Cosmos ecosystem. Developed by Crypto.com, Cronos is a decentralized and open source blockchain with a primary mission of supporting the Crypto.com mobile payments app. With an impressive market cap of $2.25 billion, Cronos has firmly established itself as a force to be reckoned with. So it looks like they have some AI integrations, and by the way, partnering with Avarock AI and Singularity.net. And I like Singularity. I haven't paid much attention to Avarock AI, but I like Singularity.net, and I do think that this is going to be the decade of AI, right? And I'm talking about like stocks, I'm talking about cryptos. Just a quick reminder, nothing we say is investment advice. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen, right? So you got to do your own research. That said, these partnerships and this kind of system, and also probably a resurgence of DeFi, might see Cronos get some love. So for now, I'm just going to take a look at Cronos and take a look at its levels and see what might happen to the price. But before we do that, please hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell that helps us out with the YouTube algos. Thanks. Now, Cronos did see a lot of action back in Q4. When a lot of coins saw a lot of action, except this is very steep compared to many coins. Cronos went from 4.4 cents to 12.2, so it almost tripled, which is pretty good for happening from August to November. Tripling in a few months, that's amazing. 300% return, you cannot complain about that, especially that short period of time. This is a very steep move, and especially from October to November. In 1 month, most of that tripling happened. It more than doubled in a month. Amazing. That said, it is probably going to come back down. I mean, if you look at the price action and you look at the algos, it definitely is going to take a break. I'm going to take a look at where it might come down to based on what is called a Fibonacci retracement. If you want to know more about Fibonacci retracements, feel free to come over to Algo Factory and we will show you what that is all about. I'm also going to use something called a fixed range tool, and we teach you all these things over at Algo Factory, and these are great tools to have an idea of where price might go. And right now, it's already made it to the 618, and let me look on some lower time frame algo data. Don't let this data scare you. What you're seeing is a lot more than one algo. What you're seeing is me testing a lot of stuff. So that whole screen full of all the crazy data, that is not the algo, and you don't need to be able to read all that data. Don't let it scare you. All right, much more simple when you develop an algorithm. In the meantime, I do see the possibility of, I think Cronos is going to come down to 63 cents is a good level for it to settle at. It may not make it down to 63 cents. It did bounce pretty hard off of 76, 77 cents right there, but I do think that it is going to make it down to this area. In fact, the most likely area to me is going to be about 68 or 6.8 cents. Forgive me. When I said it bounced, I meant that it bounced off of 7.7 cents, and I do think that's where it's going to come to, right about here. And when it does, it may spend some time in this area unless we see some pretty substantial developments in the coin. But I do think that it will will, when the rest of the coins go up, when crypto starts to come back, I think it's going to quickly, say by the end of the year, or even way sooner than that, maybe even by the end of the summer, I think it's going to start making its way up. And outside of any major developments, I think it will eclipse that yearly high here, or actually last year's high really, and that was at about 12.3 cents. So I'd say quarter 3, quarter 4, we'll see Cronos do its thing. So that's what I see for Cronos. The next coin on the Cosmos chain is THORChain, and RUNE is, we'll read it right off the article. It's another Cosmos altcoin identified by Rect Fencer as a standout performer. With a market cap of 1.6 billion, THORChain has gained prominence as a decentralized liquidity protocol that facilitates asset swaps across different blockchain networks while allowing users to retain full custody of their assets. That is huge. One of the issues with crypto is having to use centralized exchanges, having to trust those exchanges to hold your coins. This is a decentralized exchange that will actually allow you to exchange your coins across different chains. So you don't have to only exchange like an ERC20 coin for an ERC20 coin, which that's easy to do on a centralized exchange, but on a decentralized exchange, oftentimes, like say Uniswap, those are all ERC20 coins, which is based on the Ethereum chain. If you want to switch a Solana coin for a Solana coin, then you have to go to another decentralized exchange. Well, THORChain actually allows you to swap between different chains. That's massive. And THORChain's been doing really well. We'll look at the chart, but I remember RUNE killing it last year. I mean, like really outperforming a lot of stuff, and it is definitely big in the DeFi space. So let's go ahead and take a look at Thor. I think it's just going to continue to be strong like it was. I mean, that looks a lot like Cosmos, or like Cronos really. Let me remove some drawings and got our level right there. This is really following Cosmos, so I think we'll use the same kind of analysis. We'll bust out our fixed range. And again, this work that I'm doing, this is actually really simple to do, and I teach everybody who wants to know about it over at Algo Factory. So come check us out. I think it's really probable that price makes its way as low as say $2.35, but it could bounce at $2.90 or even $3.20 is reasonable. It's just such a steep decline after such a steep hike that I think the entire alt market would have to be really, really strong for a price not to make its way all the way down to $2.30. But we could again see it bounce a little before that. These really strong coins like this, a lot of people wait for that really low entry and they just never get it because it gets front ran. And Thor is really been very strong. And again, I would expect by the end of the summer to see price heading back up. Now, it might be that it heads up really a lot sooner. It might be that this alt season I see coming actually like happens a lot sooner. But the basic price movement of this, you could compress that and make it happen sooner and it would be the same kind of thing. But I do see last year's high of 730 being broken. Unless something different happens in the crypto space, I do see it probably happening later in the summer. But if we do get that alt season, we could, with all of these coins, have like a spike up. It might not make it all the way to last year's highs, but you could get a nice spike up, right? And it just depends on how far it moves down. You could get a spike up to say, like for this particular coin, THORChain, I wouldn't be surprised to see it pop back up to like 545 after touching, 220 or 230, whatever it is, make itself pop up like in the middle of a big alt season fury. Because a lot of people remember this big move up and they got really excited. But part of the problem is a lot of people bought the top right here and a lot of people got dumped on. So all the people who sold here, all the people who held onto their coins, now they're going to want to sell when price heads back up. Those are called bag holders. But I do think price could go as high, easily back up to like 422 and even make its way up to $5 during that time. The last coin that we'll look at is going to be dYdX. Now, dYdX is a really good coin. I like it because it's a decentralized futures exchange coin. Okay. I've looked at this exchange. I haven't ever used it, but I'm interested in it. It's a perpetual decentralized exchange and lending platform, and it facilitates seamless trading and lending experiences for its users. With current trading price of 311, the altcoin has witnessed a 5.9% increase in the last 24 hours. That's a lot. And it launched its layer 1 chain with USDC integration. So this move promises increased utility for dYdX token, further solidifying its position as a valuable asset within the Cosmos system. So dYdX, again, I think this is a great coin, and I do think that it may fare better than others think. It is already stronger than the rest of the Cosmos coins that we've looked at so far. You're having a lot of higher highs here on the price action. I'm sorry, forgive me, higher lows. It found a floor in 2022 of, let me see, of $1 or so, and now it keeps creating higher lows. And these exchange tokens are the ones that do really well, kind of like Injective that I covered, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago. Same kind of scenario. People are going to use this to trade. And anytime you have an exchange coin that is a popular exchange that's really being used, it's probably just going to go up and up and up. I mean, over time, you're going to get your retracements. Nothing ever goes up forever or always. However, I do think, gosh, that was poetic. I do think that this might create a channel where you just kind of have, these higher lows and higher highs. This one right here, dYdX, just based on the fact that it is an exchange token and people are using it, this one might be kind of the more solid coin. Although THORChain is right behind it, in my opinion, in utility. However, just based on what I'm seeing, I'm kind of thinking that this is the winner. So I think we're going to see something like this. This would not surprise me one bit. Now, again, Bitcoin probably calming down into a range is going to be an environment where this could even do better than what I just drew, but this seems realistic right now. It's a solid coin that is going to continue to get used regardless of the market. So, okay, well, I hope that this was helpful. Again, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. This helps us put out more of this content, and come visit us over at www.algofactory.tech. Trade your job, upgrade your life. See you on the next one. All right, hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. On the screen there, you can see our website, algofactory.tech. Tap that QR code to take you straight there. I'm also very active on X. That's algo_factory777. We got TikTok and Rumble. In the meantime, we hope to see you over at the website. Come on over, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you there.